Hello and welcome to Cutting Words. I'm Brad Thompson and today we got Vecna to look at. Woohoo! So Vecna, the Whispered One, the Archlich, known for, being one of the big bads at Critical Role, as well as being a long-going undead / god baddie in D&D history, starting with the Hand and Eye of Vecna magic items, as well as more recently the villain of Stranger Things, the Netflix show. So with all that, Wizards of the Coast has released a stat block for Vecna as a free giveaway they're doing on D&D Beyond. So it's a D&D Beyond only release. It's on dndbeyond.com. I have it at the front homepage up here right now. So you can get it right now for free until the 16th of June. So you've got a few days left on that, so get in quick. After that, you have to be a subscriber to D&D Beyond to get access to the stat block. So without further ado, let's get this up. So let's get Vecna up. Or reclaim the contents, let's view the Vecna content. Now, I'm very excited to see, because this isn't the first release on here that Wizards of the Coast have done since purchasing D&D Beyond. So since the purchasing D&D Beyond, bring it in-house for Wizards of the Coast, they've also released the Spelljammer monsters, which I covered in another video. A little icon for that should be popping up in the corner now. And if you want to see that, and the Spelljammer monster compendium. And now they're on Vecna. So I'm very excited to see what more they'll do with D&D Beyond going forward with the online releases, the special online-only releases they're doing here. It's very exciting to see where they're going to take this. So yeah, something to think about. Okay. The Vecna dossier. Alright. So here's a Vecna. Got a bit of write-up on him. Evil dude. Wizard. Became a lich, then an archlich, and then a god. Ooh, and there he is, the new artwork for Vecna. He penned the Book of Vile Darkness, which is stashed in his chest there on the artwork. And he's complete with his iron hand here. Alright. Apparently, the Book of Vile Darkness can be included with Vecna if you want to use that with the stat block. Though the book itself doesn't really have much stats in the way of helping Vecna. Oh, let's get this up here. Helping Vecna during a combat anyway. But there's a little note there. This, one of the player characters is evil. It's got Dominate Monster only on an evil creature. Otherwise, it's not terribly a lot. It's just a lot of flavor stuff. Step up, increase, that sort of thing. But yeah, Book of Vile Darkness. There's some cool stuff there. But definitely good for a plot device anyway. You get the book off Vecna for some reason. Anyway, the Vecna stat block. This is what's new. So the stat block is based off Vecna as an Archlich. Didn't bother doing any Vecna god stats because, you can really slay a god here. Though, with a lich, or in this case an Archlich, very difficult to permanently kill. Alright, Vecna the Archlich. So here's his stat block here. Vecna is a challenge rating is 26. So he's definitely one of the higher challenge ratings out there. The highest being 30. Which is reserved so far for Tiamat and Tarask. So I think 26. I think other stat blocks in that weight class, I think, is Zariel, the Archdevil of Avernus. It's the first one that comes to mind at 26. There's a few Eberron stat blocks around that level as well. Anyway, so Vecna. Let's see. So his armor class is 18, which is pretty low for this level. But I guess they're going for he's a squishy wizard after all, so he will probably want some minion support to back him up here. Because as is 18 armor class and 272 hit points isn't actually that much really for this high level. I can see him get stuck in a corner. He'll drop pretty quick, so he'll want to stay away from players at there. Especially Paladin or something. Man, that'll be a bad day for Vecna. Okay, D-foot movement. So yeah, he's just got regular movement speed. He's just running along. There's little wizard legs. Legs don't fail me now. Off I go. All right, strength 14. So +2 on the strength there. Pretty Vecna's been working out. It's pretty good for a wizard. Dex 16, so +3 Dex. Con 18, so +4 Con. Int 22, so +6 Int. Wisdom 24, so +7 Wisdom, which is surprising for a wizard that the Wisdom is higher than his intelligence. Being an intelligence caster, but sure, alright. And then Charisma 16, so +3 on Charisma. So his saving throw is +12 Con. Okay, so he's pretty good keeping his concentration. His int is +14, and his wisdom is +15. So pretty good saves there. And skills, well, so expertise in Arcana. So Arcana 22, History 14, Insight 15, Perception 15. Okay, and so damage resistances are cold, lightning, necrotic. Makes sense. Damage immunities, poison, and also immune to anything bludgeoning, piercing, slashing that's non-magical. By this stage, though, I mean, if someone's attacking you with non-magic weapons, what are you doing? What are you doing here? Condition immunities. Charmed, exhaustion, frightened, paralyzed, poisoned, and stunned. Oof. Take that, monk. Alright, so he's got true sight out to 120 feet. So no shenanigans there. He can see through most things. Barring things like fog cloud and sleet storm. Like physical fog, just regular fog can foil a lot of true sight users. But any illusions, invisibility, that sort of thing, no problem for Vecna. Including magical darkness. Passive perception 25, so yeah, it's pretty hard to hide from Vecna. So watch out, rogues. So languages, common, draconic, elvish, infernal. I'm kind of surprised there's no more, actually, Vecna. I guess listening a bit ridiculous, so you keep going, like abyssal and that sort of thing. Alright, so proficiency bonus +8. Alright, yeah, so definitely a high level dude, that Vecna. Legendary resist, it's got legendary resistance 5 a day, so that's higher than the usual 3 a day. So he fails a saving throw, I choose to succeed 5 times a day. So that's going to trip people up who want to counting down those legendary saves and then get through the third one, going, alright, he's vulnerable now. Nope, he's got another one. What? They won't know how many he's necessarily got. It's all guesswork after that. Which, I don't know, I quite like players knowing how many legendary resistance there are, so then they can count them down and try and figure out, try and get through them to land something on Vecna here. So I don't know, it'd be a bit disheartening, really. You finally get through the third one, and you cast your big spell, thinking, "Great, I've got this." He's got none left, and nope, he's got another one. What? So, yeah, interesting choice, but yeah, very strong nonetheless. Special equipment. Vecna carries a magical dagger named Afterthought in the hands of anyone else other than Vecna. Afterthought is a +2 dagger. All right. Undying, so Vecna is slain. His soul refuses to accept its fate and lives on in a disembodied spirit that fashions a new body for itself after 1d100 years. Vecna's soul can fashion a new body even if its old body was burnt to ash or otherwise obliterated. When the new body is complete, Vecna regains all his hit points and becomes active again. Vecna's new body appears anywhere within 100 miles of where Vecna was slain. So no phylactery here. Vecna is ascended beyond that limitation. He just comes back no matter what. I imagine it'll be a lot of hoops to jump through if you want to stop Vecna from coming back permanently. All right. Unusual nature. Vecna doesn't require air, food, drink, or sleep. Makes sense. He is undead. Alright, here we go. His actions. Multi-attack. Vecna uses Flight of the Damned, if available, Rotten Fate, or Spellcasting. He then makes 2 attacks with Afterthought. Okay, so this is the magic dagger he's got. So melee weapon attack. So this is a melee-only option. Which, for a squishy wizard, you don't want to be in melee, but I guess if you have to be, it's an option. So +13 to hit, reach 5 foot, so it'll be right in there. On a hit, one target, so hit 7 damage, 1d4 +5, piercing damage +9 or 2d8 necrotic damage. If the target's a creature, is afflicted by entropic magic, taking additional 9 or 2d8 necrotic damage at the start of each of its turns. Immediately after taking this damage, On its turn, the target can make a DC 20 Constitution saving throw, ending the effect on itself on success. Until it succeeds on the save, the target can't regain hit points. Okay, so there's an anti-healing dagger. Does, a little bit of damage. Again, at high levels where this Vecna seems to be targeted for. Encounter-wise, it's not doing a lot of damage here, but it stops healing, which can be sneaky good. Okay, so it's Afterthought and have to be melee. Okay. But that's just part of his multi-attack sequence. So he can do 2 attacks with Afterthought, but before that he gets to use either Flight of the Damned, Rotten Fate, or Spellcasting. So Flight of the Damned, this is recharge 5 to 6. Vecna conjures a torrent of flying spectral entities that fill a 120-foot cone and passes through all creatures in that area before dissipating. Okay, so just get everyone then, because that's a huge area effect. Each creature in that area must make a DC 22 Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, the creature takes 36 or 8d8 necrotic damage and is frightened of Vecna for 1 minute. On a successful save, the creature takes half as much damage and isn't frightened. A frightened creature can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect on itself or success. This is a recharge, much like a Dragon Breath weapon. So not a spell or anything, can't be countered, just happens. Con save for a frightened effect is interesting. Normally it's wisdom. But yeah, 22 con. It's getting up there on those saving throws. But although most people are pretty good at con, especially at this level. Spellcasters want to be good at that to keep their concentration. And also frighten. Who cares about frighten? He's probably got to solve for frightened condition by your target reach, challenge rating 26 creatures. So that's, yeah. But, it's consistent damage. You can pump out. Should we keep recharging it? That hits everyone. Okay, Fly the Damned. Cool visual effect, though. Summon an army of spirits. Very Doctor Strange and a multiverse of madness kind of effect. I think they're going for there. Alright, Rotten Fate. So this is his more consistent option because the other one has recharge. Rotten Fate. Vecna causes necrotic magic to engulf one creature he can see within 120 feet of himself. The target must make a DC 22 Constitution saving throw, taking 96 or 8d8 plus 60 necrotic damage on a failed save. Or this is like or half as much damage on a successful one. A humanoid creature killed by this magic raises a zombie as the start of Vecna's next turn and acts immediately after Vecna in initiative order. The zombie is under Vecna's control. So this is like a Finger of Death, the spell Finger of Death, but has become an ability here, so it can keep popping it off and it can't be countered. Okay, that's pretty good. That's a lot of damage. Now we're talking. Ow. Just keep targeting one person with that, and they'll drop pretty quick. That's a lot of damage. Let's go. Two abilities targeting con though. So it looks like he's pretty con heavy here, targeting con. Actually, yeah, all his abilities, even Afterthought, is con saves. Not much deviation there. It'd be nice to the players are good against con saves. Maybe I'll try a different spell or whatever to target different saving throw to mix things up. Just asking players to constantly do the same saving throw, but okay. Some good damage there. 103-foot range. Just works. Off you go. Now, spellcasting. So this is his third option he can do. As part of his multi-deck sequence, he could do spellcasting. So Vecna casts one of the following spells requiring no material components and using intelligence as a spellcasting ability, so all spell save DCs are 22. So at will, he can animate dead as an action. Just boom, I killed you, and I go up, raise you as a zombie, counteracting or delaying anything like Revivify, anything like that, which could be a lot of fun. Raising players up as zombies. Detect their friends. Detect magic. Dispel magic. Well, dispel magic's sneaky good. Dispelling players' buff spells. Oh, that's nasty. That's really nice having that option there. Fly. Okay, that can solve his movement options because he's only got 30 feet movement, so about to move around 60 feet, get around, get out of the way from players because they will try and close. And Vecna, so far what I'm seeing here is he does not want to be melee, even though he's got the Afterthought melee attack. He does not want to be in melee. That's Afterthought isn't, well, as the name of the dagger goes, is an afterthought. It's like, oh, I happen to be in melee. I guess I'll slash at them before I try and get away out of melee, but otherwise, I'm not going to pursue trying to get into melee, because it seems like a poor life choice. I like living as an evil archlet, I'd imagine. Lightning Bolt. Okay, so that's a dex save there. So that's a AoE dex save you can pull off. No Fireball though, it's unfortunate. Mage Hand Precipitation. Sure, some nice ribbons there. So twice a day you can cast Dimension Door, which, that's great. Dimension Door is fantastic. That's how you escape any conflict or maneuver on the board. So that's really good. Visibility, that's a nice trick to have too. And Scrying, so you can see them coming. Alright. And once a day, Dominate Monster. Oh, there we go. Forget everything else, just cast that. As soon as you turn a player against the others, that is going to change the whole battlefield. Great. Low Invulnerability, that's solid too. And Plane Shift, self only. Here's an instant getaway. Cool. Especially good if you want him to be a recurring villain in a campaign. Well, you're having to wait 100 years to reform. Very cool. So with spellcasting here, they're using the new stat block format here, like they've done it in Monsters of the Multiverse, where spellcasting, rather than being a full spell slot, spell list, is this kind of cut down version, which saves a lot of space, and they put any spells that should be their go-to kind of spells as abilities. So Rotten Fate is basically on tap, Finger of Death, that sort of thing. Cool. Bonus action. So, okay. So in addition to all that, so you can do is multi-attack actions. So you can cast a spell, fly the down, or Rotten Fate, then do some dagger attacks with Afterthought. He can then also, bonus action, Vile Teleport. Vecna teleports along with any equipment he is wearing or carrying up to 30 feet to unoccupied space he can see. He can cause each creature of his choice within 15 feet of his destination space to take 10 psychic damage. If at least one creature takes this damage, Vecna regains 80 hit points. Okay, so this is how Vecna survives. So you can teleport. That's interesting. So you can teleport out of the way to try and get away from players who close with him, and back up and then move, get 60 feet away, because he does not want to be in melee. But also, it rewards him for getting up close. So if you teleport close, then you can hit the heal off if it hits that. I guess if you teleport just a little bit away, actually, yeah. So you teleport a little bit away, so you're still within 15 feet. Hit someone to get the damage off and the heal 80 hit points, because his armor class is so low, he's going to need some better heal those hit points back, and then keep moving after that, get away, because you don't want to be within 30 foot of a player. They'll just walk up and close you again, and they'll really hurt. Poor Vecna, armor class 18. They're always going to be hitting him. He's got no shield spell to help him out there. But okay, yeah, some interesting choices there with Vile Teleport, because I can see wanting to, choices for the DM when running Vecna to whether it's to get away or get some healing in before moving away again. Interesting. Now we've got some reactions here. So interesting enough, Vecna being a legendary creature, he's got legendary resistances, but he's got no legendary actions. But he's got several reactions here, and Vecna can take up to 3 reactions per round, but only 1 per turn. Just scroll up here, get that in full view. So, Vecna, so he's got 2 reaction options, and he can do 3 actions total per round, but only once per turn. So, Dread Counterspell. Vecna utters a dread word to interrupt a creature he can see that is casting a spell. If the spell is 4th level or lower, it fails and has no effect. If the spell is 5th level or higher, Vecna makes an intelligence check, DC 10 plus the spell's level. On success, the spell fails and has no effect. Whatever the spell's level, the caster takes 10 psychic damage if the spell fails. Okay, so that's a counterspell, but without the 60-foot range limit, just wherever, and Vecna's got 120-foot true sight. So basically, if you cast anything at Vecna, he'll probably see you do it and counter it. It's pretty hard for casters to land anything on him, and for your trouble, you'll take some psychic damage, and maybe can make a Constitution check to see if you keep your concentration up on any existing spells. It's just all bad news. Cool. So yeah, the master Archlich wizard here is good at countering other spellcasters. Cool. Okay, so we've got that going for him. As well, he's got Fell Rebuke is his other reaction here. In response to being hit by an attack, so he gets hit by an attack, he'll take that damage. Vecna utters a fell word, dealing 10 necrotic damage to the attacker. And Vecna teleports, along with any equipment he is wearing or carrying, up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space he can see. Okay, so there's a fell word, 10 necrotic damage, and attacker. Yeah, so he teleports away as a reaction. Okay, after getting hit. So he'll hit once, he'll take some damage, but then he'll teleport 30 feet away, potentially foiling, say, a fighter or barbarian's multi-attack sequence. Someone runs up, hits him, and one attack hits, Vecna teleports away, and if they don't have enough movement, then that's it. If they manage to start their turn close enough to Vecna with enough movement where they can still close, then oh well, Fell Rebuke didn't do anything. But otherwise, in situations where the players don't have enough movement, that would mean having those high multi-attack sequences, especially on like a high-level fighter, for example, that might have 4 attacks at this point. This would foil all those multi-attacks. Wouldn't help against things like the rogue or anything, but yeah, okay. Fell Rebuke. That's pretty good. So yeah, so running legendary actions, he's got 3 reactions, which so he's very reactive mastermind here that uses those to try and foil and counter what players are doing, which is an interesting design. I don't think they've done that before. They've done multiple reactions before, but nothing on like this. So that's kind of cool. Though I still feel, yeah, poor Vecna is going to struggle, I feel, in practice, because he's only going to do it 3 rounds, and presumably players probably have at least 4 players. Someone will get up to him and land some good damage. So unless Vecna manages to heal enough back each round, I think Vecna's going to run some problems, because he's super easy to hit. And he's definitely he's a tricky one to run, I think. He should be yeah, just need to keep moving. Don't let Vecna get cornered. Keep moving. Keep away from the players. Almost need to chase them down. And ideally have minion support, even just basic zombies or some more advanced minions to begin the way, to teleport behind them to block players from closing with him. Even terrain, pit of lava, just bottomless pits or whatever. Can teleport across, and the players that get across then they can't immediately close. He's teleporting back and forth across some terrain that is difficult for players to get back and forth across, so players that have been resources teleporting and flying, which could get counterspelled or what have you, or dispelled, that sort of thing. Yeah, I think definitely Vecna needs right terrain and support set up here to be a real challenge, because in a vacuum I can see him definitely run into problems. Especially since most of his damage type is, most damage he's doing here is necrotic. There's a little bit of psychic, and he's got like lightning bolt for some lightning, but otherwise, most of his damage is necrotic. And there are spells to gain immunity to necrotic, and some people get resistance to necrotic. So those things will have a great time against Vecna, because he is mostly focused on one damage type, which can be a problem for him. But yeah. So definitely a prepared party, no problem. Also, Vecna, most things he does requires line of sight. You can't teleport or cast anything on anyone he can't see. He's got 120-foot true sight, but that's not going to do anything. It's a fog. Like someone casts fog cloud or a sleet storm or something, and it's all over for Vecna. So yeah, but interesting design otherwise. Some cool ideas here. I almost want to give him a run and see how he goes. One night Vecna kind of setup. But yeah, a lot of fun. I'm definitely liking the reaction options here. Some different reactions. Cool. So yeah, that's Vecna, the Archlich stat block there in the Vecna dossier. Available now on D&D Beyond until the 16th of June, and then available to subscribers only after that. Cool. Vecna. So yes, if you like these videos, please consider subscribing. It really helps the channel. We're getting up there. We're nearly up to 300 subscribers. So close. This channel keeps growing and growing. So please consider smashing that subscribe button if you haven't already. Otherwise, I'll catch you next time on Cutting Words. See ya.